Okay, I'm just going to be talking about the scalp indicator settings using Platinum's chart. And we're just going to be doing the long example. The shorts are inverse. So I'm just going to bring the indicator up and going to start with the first setting. By default, it is filtering the 1 hour VWAP. So I have it at 0. I'll just box this off and show you on the 1 hour what it's looking for. All right. So for longs, you want the 1 hour VWAP to be below 0, so negative. And then for shorts, you'll want the 1 hour VWAP to be above 0. You want it to be positive. All right, that's setting number 1. And you don't have to use these settings. You can select and deselect as many confluences as you want, of course. And then second confluence setting is the 10-minute fast wave. I have it set to the 30 levels by default. So you can see here, for the long example, the fast wave on the 10-minute is deeper than negative 30, and that's for longs. For shorts, you would want the 10-minute fast wave to be greater than positive 30. So that's happening. And then, I don't think this is... Okay, fine. Then what we're looking for is the entry pattern on a time frame of 10 minutes or lower. Otherwise, you're not going to see the entry pattern. You can see the entry pattern on a higher time frame if you deselect these two. But if those two are selected, you'll see the actual candle entry pattern on the 10 minute, the 5 minute, the 3 minute, or as low down as you want to go, lower than the 10 minute. The candle entry pattern is once you've had a unique price low, and this is for longs, you want to have a bullish candle closing above the high of that unique price low. I'll just use this one because sometimes it can be a bit, I might use a different time frame a little bit. If there's gaps in the candles, and that could look a bit strange. So you can see this candle's put in a unique price low for the day, and then you've had a bullish candle closing above the high of that candle. All right. And it doesn't matter if the price low is put in by a bullish or a bearish candle. You can see it here. You've had a unique price low put in for the day. You've had a bullish candle body closing above the high of the candle that's put in the unique price low. Here again, this candle has put in the low for the day. This candle, obviously it's a bearish candle, did not body close above the high of the candle that's put in the price low for the day. This candle has body closed above that. So that's the pattern, the actual entry pattern on the lower time frame that it's looking for once the two confluences have been met. And you can use the 10 minute, the 5 minute, anything lower than the 10 minute. If you've got the confluences selected, I'm going to be using the 3 minute. Okay. And then we need to talk about a few other things. So you can filter the actual higher time frame bias by the daily TPM turning point candles. So you can see in the platinum example, it's only looking for long positions because we have had a daily TPM turning point candle over here. So start of a bullish sequence. So we're only getting longs printing from there onwards. Of course, you can deselect that if you want to use your own bias, or if you want to catch reversals, you can deselect that. You can filter signals by the daily open price level. So for longs, signals will only print below the open of the day, and for shorts, they'll only print above the open of the day. Again, it's up to you if you want to do that or not, because the indicator is already looking for unique price lows and price highs for the day. So it might not bother you to have that. I suppose you would deselect that if, this was the open for the day and price, never went under, and then it did something like that. The filter for the day, the daily open, wouldn't catch the entry. If that was the case, you get those hyper expansive candles that never really put in a bottom or a top wick on a candle. But like I say, it would still only print a unique low or a unique high if you're shorting. So it doesn't really matter, I think, to have that. I'm just having it anyway because I'm deliberately looking for the wick of the daily candle. So, it still should be below the open in my opinion. But yeah, you can see only if a unique low has been put in with all of those confluences and that entry pattern is it going to print. Okay, what else have we got? So I've covered all of that, and of course, like I say, you can basically Frankenstein the situation, select and deselect what you do and don't want. The final filter is an extra confluence of, does your lower time frame candle pattern close within a 1 hour or a 4 hour, you can change this to a 4 hour sweeping candle. So basically Aaron and I are looking to nest, you can see the silhouette of the daily candle, and then you've got the silhouette of the 1 hour candles. We're trying to, I suppose, have multi-time frame alignment where our candle pattern, okay, I'm going to use this one again because it's better than that one. I don't know what's going on with this one, but we use the second one. We're looking at, because I have the 1 hour selected, 1 hour silhouette, the low of the previous 1 hour candle, okay. We have in the current intra-bar 1 hour candle, when our pattern closes on the 3 minute, price is higher than the low of the previous 1 hour candle. And you can see with the silhouette, if you even ignore this, on the 1 hour, we have swept the previous candle and we are back within that range of that candle. So it's potentially on the 1 hour, we are potentially looking at a reversal candle. We're intra-bar in a reversal 1 hour candle, whilst our lower time frame is telling us to enter. So it's just like an extra degree of confluence. You don't need to have that because sometimes it doesn't work, but I mean, when it does work, it's really good, it's exceptional. And look, the 4 hour might cut out a lot of alerts if that's the case. You can see this one has moved over to the next candle, so you'd have to ignore that because it didn't close higher than that candle. But this alert's perfect, right? Like visually you can just see that. I'll just extend the low of that candle. By the time our 3 minute condition has printed, price is higher than the low of the previous 1 hour candle. So intra-bar, we have swept the previous 1 hour candle. We are potentially within a 1 hour reversal inside of a daily candle via the 3 minute time frame. And that's what we're trying to do. Basically this, like 40 Tetris of multi-time frame alignment to try and get the extreme bottom wick of a daily bullish candle or top wick of a daily bearish candle, but via as low a time frame as possible without being silly. I mean, we don't want lots of alerts to be printing, but to have 4 alerts in a day, I think that's totally fine, right? You can work with that and you can get something out of it. So I think that's everything. I don't think much more needs to be explained. If you've got the TPM turning point candles as your filter, but you're getting one false candle and then it keeps longing, that can be a problem. I'll just go to the daily time frame to show you. Basically, you've got a bullish, the start of a bullish sequence. You've had one false candle, then it keeps longing. So that can be a bit annoying. And, that's when we say like this candle's a problem. How do you deal with it? You'd have to then try and like Frankenstein the situation, get rid of the TPM filters. I'm just going to chuck on my normal overlay indicator so you can see the swing trading indicator would have caught this position, right? I would have caught this position anyway, but via the 30 minute time frame, stops are incredibly large. So you can see how the window of entry has been reduced quite significantly from a 30 minute entry to a 3 minute entry, but the precision remains. I mean, I would consider this to be one alert. I wouldn't consider it to be 2 alerts because price is pretty much at the same level for these 2 alerts. So I'd say that's 1 alert. Maybe you get 1 false alert. But you can draw a limit from the actual price low and try and catch the limit. So I still think the accuracy remains, even though we've gone from the 30-minute time frame to the 3-minute time frame, and that's important. That's what we're trying to achieve here, to get really tight stops but still catch bottom and top wicks of daily candles. So thank you so much to Charlie for doing this for us, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment. Thanks, guys.